Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your brother in the struggle coming right back at you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, everything is a conspiracy theories nowadays. A phrase coined back in the 1960s by the CIA, as I previously told you many times. Ladies and gentlemen, we must understand the evil that we are dealing with. See, evil never sleeps. This is what I don't do in terms of bringing you the truth to you. This is the reality. Ladies and gentlemen, are you aware that the United States is the second beast mentioned in the Bible in Revelation chapter 13, starting on 11 and verse 11? Ladies and gentlemen, are you aware that the United States is living up to that very name ever since it was taking shape as a world superpower? Remember, the deadly wound that was healed, mentioned in I believe is Revelation chapter 17, refers to the fact that the first beast, which is the Roman Catholic Church, ladies and gentlemen, which is a satanic organization by all of its essence, in all of its essence, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, that's what I call the devil's temple upon the earth before the Savior comes to clean the earth, because this earth is corrupted to the max. This world is lost, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the United States is about to be destroyed very soon. Okay? When I say very soon, it's going to take a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, but it will be destroyed. Because the United States, ladies and gentlemen, has been completely compromised. Okay? Because he has chosen as the second beast to live in a lie. And to be partnered with the evil ones of this earth. In fact, the Jews controls America. Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, the Jews controls America. They control, when I say they control America, they control America. This is not anti-Semitic. This is the reality. And by the way, it has never been for America's own interest. Ladies and gentlemen, America has been putting its people through many psychological operations throughout its history. And I'm going to make you aware of a new one. Did you know that in 1950, the Bay Area of San Francisco was sprayed with an operation called Sea Spray, getting the people ready for a biological attack? It's nothing better to make Americans guinea pig. Are you also aware that most of the water in the United States has PFAS, which is forever chemicals in our water, ladies and gentlemen, which has been the main cause for cancer? Do you know what is going on? Do you know why all of this is happening? Why flora is in your water? Okay? Do you know why high fructose syrup is in most of your drinks? Of course, now they tell you, oh, no high fructose corn syrup. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is a real man-made cheap sugar to make your drink, like your soda, even your zero sugar Coke and all of that. To make those, they use that because they don't care about your well-being. They care only about making money. Remember, the love of money is the root of all evil. So anyway, going through this 1950 operation called Sea Spray. How can you spray your own people if you care about them? Because America has been living up to its to its name, to its title as the second beast. America and politicians have never cared about their people. Throughout history, show me a leader that has really cared about their people. And I'm not talking about leaders that God has put up, like King David or King Solomon. No, no, no. I'm talking about normal human leaders that have come to power, and because they all lie, they make you believe that your vote counts. In fact, they're doing that psychological operation right now in Texas, where the Democrats are making you believe that your vote counts, talking about redistricting and all of this, and we're gonna fight. Ladies and gentlemen, America needs to be divided from within. Okay, order out of chaos is their mojo, that's what they push. That's what the world leaders look for. In fact, Albert Pike talked about that, having anarchies in chaos in our society, and isn't that exactly what America is at the moment, by design? Okay, to self-destruct. Okay, so there was that, right? And then are you aware of the fact that the other operation that went on, called the Tuskegee operation, where he gave 800 he gave 800,000 blacks in America, mainly in the South, gave them syphilis. Again, how can you be so evil and make this with the promise of, hey, your blood, there may be something wrong with your blood. We're running some tests to make you feel better. We're gonna give you money, and we're gonna give you, so things like that. So of course, a lot of people volunteer because they did it to the poor, as always. And guess what happens? 800,000 people were infected with the syphilis disease. Ladies and gentlemen, you understand and then of course we all know that that's a sexually transmitted disease. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what is happening here? Do you see what is happening? We talk about Hitler being an evil man. Hitler was no evil man because he was created by the very establishment that destroyed him. Did you know that? Did you know that even the Roman Catholic Church helped build up Hitler, while making you believe that they were going against him? Do you know that George Bush's grandfather was making all kinds of deal with Hitler? Prescott Bush is the name. And of course, what a surprise that these people that are part of the Skull and Bones, which is a Satanic Freemasonry society out of Yale, ladies and gentlemen, of course, these are Skull and Bones. See, when you sell your soul, when you compromise yourself at any level, whether it is in the entertainment industry, whether it is in the political realm, business, whatever you want, the God of this world will get it for you and make it easier for you to get it. Okay? So that is a fact. And let's not even talk about what happened with 9/11, which is coming up. Its memorial is coming up. What a joke that was. You see? Destroying through almost. I grew up in New York, and I went through that, and I console people, and I help people, and everybody was helping each other at that point. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, please. Almost 3,000 people died on that day, but it was not carried out by, as they will have you believe, by Osama bin Laden. Because Osama bin Laden was a CIA agent, as I have told you many, many times. See, now, why is this happening? Because this is a spiritual warfare. Okay? This is a spiritual warfare. Our fight is not against flesh and blood. As it is written in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. Our fight is against spiritual beings, whom they have chose to call extraterrestrial, ladies and gentlemen. Extraterrestrial are nothing more and nothing less than the fallen angels. They've been called many, many times through our history, many different names through our history. For instance, in the Sumerian Empire, they were called Anunnakis. You understand? And in Greek, in the Greek Empire, they were called what? Stars, wandering stars. In fact, they put names to those stars: Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars. When in reality, there are no planets, and the Earth is an enclosed, flat Earth. And what did they tell you? That the Earth is a globe, and that we are going through space, thousands of miles, thousands upon thousands of miles. What is it? What is it? The last one I heard, 200 miles, or 66,000 miles per hour, going around the sun every 24 hours. Tricks are made for kids. It's time for you to wake up. Humanity is living in its very last days. Okay? I don't care whether you believe me or not, but I'm just telling you, we are living in the last days. This is the end of the world. Remember, through our history, men have talked about the end of the world. The Jehovah's Witnesses have, which I would include, and that's part of the game of religion, because that's another thing that was created to distract and to submit and to deceive the world. In fact, religion has been the greatest trick ever played on the human mind, beside the original sin. You understand? It's all a game of manipulation of the mind, and to distract the mind. When you distract the mind, you have power over this mind. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I used to be a door-to-door salesman, ladies and gentlemen, even before the internet, okay, even before cell phones, okay. I was out there. I was the one knocking on doors selling a Britannica Encyclopedia, a Sports Illustrated, TV Guide, all of those. Okay, but thanks to the internet, those things, there's no need for those things anymore. But check this out. One of the the psychological method that we use is to always keep the people distracted. Introduce yourself. Start a conversation with them. Like, hey, where you from? Oh, you from New York? Oh, man, I grew up over there, man. That's good. I missed pizza, man, now that I don't live in that state. Or something like that. Everything based upon lies. I mean, I'm not lying that I'm from New York. And even if I wasn't, I could say that I was. Hey, I used to live in Brooklyn, New York. Even though I did. I'm just making shit up, right? But guess what? That's how the government keeps you distracted, through lies, manipulation. They don't care about the people, and this have been shown greatly with the storms that happen in Hawaii. Remember? Those people that were actually burned out of existence with direct energy weapons. Then you had the situation in which I call it a human sacrifice in Camp Mystic, where 100 people died, were drowned because some Guadalupe River in Texas went over and flooded people due to rain. Then you have the flooding in due to storm in in the Carolinas. Don't you understand what is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Earthquakes all over the place. In fact, there was one today in Turkey. There was one the other day off the coast of Russia. And everybody was scared. Oh, tsunami. They were in a tsunami watch. The coast of California were in a tsunami. Ecuador. It affected a whole bunch of countries. You understand? Men have always played God. Even in the times of Noah with the giants. Well, the giants are not giants in size. They are giants in evil. Like Bill Gates, George Soros, the head of Pfizer, forgot his name. And by the way, did you know that the head of Pfizer and Donald Trump met the other day? Are you aware of that? In a golf place somewhere. You understand? These people make you believe they're what you call control opposition, just like what's his name? Alex Jones is. That man is control opposition. Okay? Because once you choose to believe in political figures, that's it, you're done. You compromise. Now, the Epstein file was another distraction. Because remember what Donald Trump said, that he was going to release them? Of course he wasn't, because he's on them. Remember when he said that he was going to, the first round, when he first became president, he said, I'm going to get Hillary. Did he get Hillary? No, ladies and gentlemen. And please do not hold your breath on them coming after Barack Obama, because you got to understand the psychology of what is happening, the dynamics. You got to understand these people are all compromised. And if you tell on me, I will tell on you. You understand? Please, wake the hell up. It is time for you to wake up. Because this is a matter of life and death. See, we were created on this earth, okay, to be eternal creatures, human beings, and to worship and live in harmony with God and the angels. In fact, we were dressed with light. We were light beings, and yes, we became darkness. Children of darkness ever since we disobey our Creator. Again, through the game of what? Mind manipulation. And the game masters have through our history, have done this, have become masters at this. They have mastered the art of mind manipulation. Again, please, hear me out. The ones that control America, as I just told you, are the Jewish, but then again, the Jewish are all Freemasonry. And by the way, they are Edomites because they came out of the Roman Empire. Forget about this Ashkenazi thing. Yeah, they was part of Ashkenazi, but they are actually Edomites. These people are not the real Jews. Okay? And this is not going against, because if you are God's chosen people, why would you kill your brethren? When clearly on this 10 commandments, it says what? Thou shalt not kill. In fact, they don't even believe in Christ. Okay? So let's get it real here. Didn't I tell you that the last president of the United States was going to be Donald Trump? They're going to use Donald Trump, and then they're just going to make him disappear. And they're going to kill him. The whole world would think that they killed him, but he's actually going to be disappearing. That's all. Because each of these leaders have a role to play. Okay, George Soros has a role to play. Klaus Schwab had a role to play as the founder of the World Economic Forum. Okay? Donald Trump has a role to play. The Pope has a role to play. Okay? But God is gonna show humanity which role it should have been playing, which is honoring him and having a strong relationship with him. Instead, anything goes nowadays. See, humanity has gone against nature, so nature has gone against humanity. And they think, and once they see that, oh, they cry foul and say, oh, God is unjust. Make up your freaking mind, you sickos. You have allowed men to marry themselves when you know damn well that two men cannot procreate life. And lesbianism, you have empowered them. Heck, you even, in some states in the United States, they even have legalized marijuana, something that they used to tell you in commercial not to do. Remember? The Reagan years is all a lie. Again, mind manipulating games. So to make it in this world, you have to sell your soul to the devil. He is the God of this world. In fact, humanity has always worshipped gods to make you to turn you into atheists, to either serve him or to turn you into atheists. That's why people, even homeless folks on street corners, will have placards and saying the end is near, because the end of the world has always been talked about, and the coming of an antichrist system. Ladies and gentlemen, the antichrist system has always been here, ever since humanity went against God. Humanity lost earth dominion. It was given, just like it is written in Job chapter 9, verse 24. Okay? The earth has been given unto the hands of the wicked, and they are the ones in power. While they make you believe that they hate each other, like for instance the United States against Russia, and they're about to start World War III, or the little fat guy in North Korea, blah blah blah, or China. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all a lie. The other great lie that they have told the people is that they went to the moon. And by the way, ever since they went to the moon, they destroyed the records. And that's why we never went back. We destroyed the technology. You understand? And people believe that. I was one of the believers many years ago. Many moons ago, I was one of them. But I woke up. So should you. Okay? So humanity is on its way to self-destruction. But God is gonna give the last hit on humanity, because after all, humanity is their creation. Even the devil is and yet we worship the creation, but we forget about our Creator. And that's how people came up with the theory of evolution. That we've been here for 400 billion years upon this earth, and the age of the dinosaurs and blah blah blah. Well, the reality is this, ladies and gentlemen. The giants in Noah's time were the ones that created the dinosaurs. Because remember, they were the scientists, and you know what science does? It destroys its own people. Okay, it has always done that. In fact, if you look at the Hippocratic Oath, who do they worship? Who do they pledge allegiance to? To pagan gods, Apollo, and all of them. So please, wake the hell up, ladies and gentlemen. I do this out of love for you all. You don't know me. I do not know you. But I know you are my brother in creation. And here I am. Because this gospel of the kingdom of God shall be preached unto all the world before the end comes. And that's what I'm doing. This is not about selling you something. It is, the time is up. The gig is up, okay? This is not funny anymore. This is not, it is time for you to stop. Oh, here comes this tinfoil conspiracy gaslighting guy. I don't gaslight to nobody. In fact, I don't pledge allegiance to no one except God. I don't vote because I woke up that your votes don't count. I woke up that the United States has always been a Freemasonry, which is a fancy word for satanic nation, okay? But they tell you it's under God. In fact, on your monetary, on your dollar bill, it tells you, in God we trust. But it's not the real God. It is Satan, the one that they've been worshiping. The Freemason God. In fact, your so-called first president of the United States, even though he wasn't, George Washington, was the first Freemason president. All of the presidents have been Freemasons. And once you're trying to get out of line, they will take you out. Abraham Lincoln, he went up against the agenda. They killed him. John F. Kennedy gave a speech talking against secret society and all of those. They kicked him out. You understand? Even though he keeps, the essence and of evil, he tells you the truth and tell you many lies. So of course, he was talking about, oh man, we going to the moon. But on the other hand, he was telling about going against secret society. Which is it? They killed him. Martin Luther King, the same thing. They put him in power. He served its purpose, and then they got him out. Malcolm X, the same thing. Okay, you do this. Okay, boom, they got him out. Even the comedian George Carlin. Remember what he said? What he used to say? This is it's their club. This is a club, and you in it. He was one of them, but he was getting too close to the truth, and they killed him. Ladies and gentlemen, please, this is not a joking matter. This is real. You see it every day. Now, if you want to see more deaths coming up on America before you get convinced, be my guest. But it is coming. More death is coming to America. More anarchies. You're going to see more immigration mess. And martial law may be declared in different parts of the United States. It may be declared in Washington, D.C., as Donald Trump is talking about taking over to take care of the criminal situation in Washington, D.C. But what about New York, and what about Chicago? What about L.A.? You understand? Everything is being done. It's being done gradually, but it is coming. And then you talk about AI. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been telling you for many, many years that the technology that we have today has its role to play, and that role is getting very serious through AI, artificial intelligence, and it will take over. Oh yes, it will be seen and perceived as a god. Okay? So the matrix is real, whether you want to accept it or not. This is all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not forget to take a look at the links that I will share with you. Love you all. God bless.